Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel.
Kilo Bravo 3 Hotel. And what's the name there?
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. My name is John. I'm in western Pennsylvania. You have a beautiful signal. You're about 20 over on a Collins KW3-M8O, which I got you dialed in here. And I've been listening and appreciate your talents and your services to the amateur community. Over.
Roger, Roger. And what was the, John, is that the name, Roger?
QSL.
Roger. John, now tell me about your antenna system.
Yeah, it's a dipole antenna. It runs north-west to southeast. It's about 20 feet, and the other's up about 30 feet.
All right. I'm looking at your audio, and you could be just a little fatter if you might be interested.
Okay, I have the processor on this KW3-M8O, and as I understand it, it wasn't the best processor. I'll shut it off right now. Okay, this is with the processor off. It's a vintage KW3-M8O. I'm putting out about 100 watts. Over.
Roger. I would like to hear the processor on at about a 3. Processor on at about a 3. Roger.
Actually, this KW3-M8O has no way to change the processor. It's either on or off, and it was an option on this radio, as I understand it. But there's no way I can vary it unless I guess one gets in the radio.
Roger that. Roger that. Well, go to your ALC and with mic gain in hand, and adjust your ALC to where you're running a mid-scale to 2/3. Mid-scale to 2/3 on your ALC by way of adjusting your mic level.
Okay, I will do that right now. How's that?
All right, just talk just a little bit. Tell me about your antennas and kind of watch your meter and adjust your mic level to where you are mid-scale to 2/3. It's bouncing in that area.
Okay, I'm running a dipole antenna, runs northwest to southeast. One end up about 15 to 20 feet, and the other is up about 25 to 30 feet. It's been raining all day, pretty gloomy and overcast here in western Pennsylvania. Back to you, KC9VKV, KB3H.
Roger, Roger, John. Now, I'll tell you what I would do. You have a watt meter on the output of your power amp, Roger?
Yeah, I don't run an amplifier. I'm just running barefoot.
Roger. You've got a power out meter on your radio?
Yes, I do.
And can you see that from where you normally speak on your microphone?
Let's see here. I have an outboard watt meter. It's an old Collins watt meter, and it's not very accurate. Let me see if I can get it to bump up a little bit here. I get kicking up to about 30 to 50.
Roger that. Well, what we're going to do with that, we're going to pretend that is a VU meter. We're going to pretend that watt meter is a VU meter. Does it have a PEP RMS switch? If it does, put it on PEP so it moves a little quicker.
No, it does not. It's just PEP.
Okay, that's great. That's what we need. And as you speak, look at your watt meter there, and you know where the sweet spot is on that watt meter. So what you're going to do is between the tempo of delivery, the rate of delivery, and the level that you speak, you want to try to keep that meter right in the sweet spot. Now, you know, that does involve speaking, not real fast, but if you speak like that meter will never hang up. But if you're just normally speaking, that meter will hang up at some point. And what you want to do is try to speak to, what we're looking for is trying to get the best signal audio-wise, level-wise that we can, and that consistency is not only through the electronics, but also in your entity as speaking, that you can control a lot of the modulation directly, Roger.
Okay, and I appreciate this. I can tell this is coming from the mind of someone who is truly well experienced, and I wish I knew what you have forgotten about this hobby and broadcasting in general. I'm tuning it a little bit right here, and I think I might just right about there be that sweet spot you're referring to, Jim.
Roger. Yeah, you were very consistent on your output level, your modulation level. I'm looking at your audio signal on a VU meter, and I've got it adjusted for 0, which is it's not 0 like you would think, but it's a place on the meter that is about halfway, a little over halfway to the right, and that is a place where you usually calibrate things, and so I've calibrated your audio to that point. And the idea is that with your ALC running mid-scale to 2/3, you'll be running probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 dB dynamic range at 80 to 85% average peak modulation. And the thing is that you want your peaks to return to the same place on each peak of the word that you're speaking. And that last transmission that you did, all those peaks were right at 0, Roger.
Okay, real fine. Well, I really appreciate it, Jim, and I'm looking forward to getting on YouTube, and also was wondering, you have on your QRZ.com page, you were at a 50,000-watt station. I was wondering what station that was.
That was WHAS in Louisville, 840 on the dial, 50K day and night.
I remember it dearly. I used to live in Kentucky. I actually went to school there for 2 years in a small town in Lebanon County, and WHAS was the 50,000-watt blowtorch, which I've heard up here many times. I took my third-class FCC license test in Louisville, and I've always been very fond of Kentuckiana in general. Hey, thanks for taking the time, my friend. God bless, and I hope you have a great year ahead, and I'll look forward to going on to YouTube. KC9VKV, KW3-H, over.
Roger, John, 3's at Wacer, and you'll be looking, when you go to YouTube and do the call letter search for KC9VKV, you'll be looking for an air check entitled My Group Air Check 1-10-20, today's date. My Group Air Check 1-10-20. And it usually takes us a couple of days to get it uploaded to YouTube, Roger.
QSL 73s, and thanks again, Jim. God bless.
Roger, 3's that away, sir. This is KC9VKV, and we are running our new ISI, our input source indicator. This is on the lower right-hand side of the screen, our video recording. And so I have a 6-position rotary input selector, which has 2 receivers and 4 internet SDRs. And so every time I move that switch, the lights go up and down, corresponding to the position that I'm at the moment. I'm running 2 receivers, a 7300 and an older FT990, which is our normal antenna, our normal radio, and we're evaluating the 7300 from the standpoint of right at this time receiver differences between a digitally inclined 7300 and a maybe 30-year-old FT990. So this is KC9VKV, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.